For real this time. Hello, this is WWE Kamehameha 13 here for another video on YouTube. This video is my story, how I got into indie wrestling. It's a video response to Indie Addict 93's video. I'm actually going to respond with my story. Okay. I got into indie wrestling through Ring of Honor. I go over to my grandmother's house a lot, or as much as I can. She has, not because of this, but she has like an HD TV. And she ordered HD channels, and she got HD net. So, I don't remember exactly how it happened. I was either flipping through the channels one day, or they had told me that there was a wrestling show on the HD channel. And I found it, and I watched it. And I liked it. I was like, this is a lot better than WWE. I still like TNA better, but it was a lot better than WWE. So, you know, I started watching Ring of Honor, and I fell in love with Ring of Honor. Every once in a while, I look for, you know, indie wrestling stuff on YouTube. I really like it. And, that's why I've been, I haven't, like, said anything about it on my YouTube channel, but, like, when I'm around my friends and stuff, that's how I've been so proactively behind, Desmond Wolfe and Daniel Bryan, because I first saw them in Ring of Honor, and I know what they can do. I know what Desmond Wolfe did as Nigel McGuinness. I know what Daniel Bryan has done as Bryan Danielson, you know. And I like some of my favorite indie wrestlers are like Roderick Strong, Tyler Black. Now I'm just gonna mention Ring of Honor because I haven't watched enough PWG and other stuff to mention people like that. Delirious, El Generico, Steve Corino, Jerry Lynn. Of course, I remember Jerry Lynn more from ECW and TNA than from Ring of Honor, but you know. Other indie wrestlers I love are the American Wolves, the Young Bucks. That's another team I saw before they came to the mainstream. Or it's another group of people I saw before they came to the mainstream. But now I'm gonna talk about how I got into wrestling. Period. I know this is supposed to be out of indie wrestling, but I figured I'd add this. When I've kind of always watched wrestling. When I was a little kid, I watched it with my dad because it was something me and him could do together. And I loved wrestling as a little kid. I was a big member of the Wolfpack. You know. You know. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack and all that, you know. I was big into the Wolfpack, and I was a little kid. You know, most little kids, you know, they're drawn into the storylines. I didn't care that the Wolfpack were the bad guys. I just knew I wanted to hang out with guys like Kevin Nash and Buff Bagwell and people like that. You know, those were my favorite wrestlers as a kid, and, I was always cheering for the NWO, no matter who they were facing, almost. I hated Bret Hart in WCW. God. Yeah, when I was a little kid, all I watched was WCW. Because I loved it. It was, it's just kind of what I was raised on WCW. I lived and breathed on WCW. Oh, and in 2001, when WCW shut down, I stopped watching wrestling. Yeah, I stopped. I was kind of a purist at the time. I didn't really like the WWF because of the whole. I was a huge WCW person, but I stopped watching wrestling, and you know. But then in 2008, I got back into wrestling because a lot of my favorite shows were getting canceled, you know. So there was a lot of days I had open stuff to do, so I was like, what am I going to watch? And my dad said, you know, there's still wrestling on it, you know. Something like that happened, and I started watching wrestling again, and I liked it. And, you know. See, it really pissed me off, though, is that when I started watching a little bit more recently, but it would have been like 2009 or so, I learned about the Invasion storyline. I was pissed. I was like, are you serious? I had a chance. I could have watched WCW Superstars and WWF, and I got really pissed. But I was like, whatever, you know. And when I came back, that's when I started liking guys like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy, as soon as I saw Jeff Hardy, I was immediately connected. And guys like Shelton Benjamin, I liked immediately, whether I knew it or not, because I kind of came in like a normal casual. Because at first I was a casual wrestling fan, where I was kind of like drawn in by the storyline, and I liked whoever WWE wanted me to like. And then I started to become more of a hardcore wrestling fan because I was like, whatever. I don't like John Cena just because Vince McMahon wants me to like John Cena. No. Yeah, that kind of thing. But, and I remember I always liked Rey Mysterio when he was in WCW, now that he's in WWE, I've always liked Rey Mysterio, you know. I always remember used to telling my dad that I was going to be a wrestler and I was going to wrestle like Rey Mysterio. And, you know, look at me now, Dad, I'm too big to wrestle like Rey Mysterio. But, you know, he was awesome. And, then, shortly after coming back to wrestling, I discovered this great alternative to WWE. TNA. And I instantly, first time I watched it, I was like, this is great. This is great, man. I love TNA. You know. So I watched that every week, you know. So. And then later on I discovered Ring of Honor. And that's my story on how I got into professional wrestling and indie wrestling. This has been WWE Kamehameha 13. Leave comments, subscribe, like or dislike, put a video response, just do whatever. Give me some feedback, man. I really need some feedback, because if I'm going to become a better YouTuber, you know, I'm not just aiming this at Indie Addict, I'm aiming this at everyone. Everyone, if you have any problem with anything I do in this video, tell me.